Just cash.
If you love making money and wanna win,
just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends,
just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash. I put my money in a strong position. They try to tell me I can't win, it's just a stupid superstition. Cause when I focus, you will notice that I'm winning. We demolish every bookie, there ain't no competition. Now listen, I would never give you shitty picks and do you wrong. Come and join the Discord, tell these bets and hit the bone. Cooking up a parlay super unders and a song. We be really winning, this ain't just to make another song. So if you love making money and wanna win,
just cash.
We coming in and we taking all the money,
just cash.
They can't do nothing to stop us,
just cash.
Hey, fuck these bookies, man.
Just cash.
They wanna limit me cause I win. Label me the enemy cause all I do is win. Just give us a try, this is where it all begins. I'm not gonna lie, all I know how to do is just win. If you love making money and wanna win,
just
they wanna limit me cause I win.
Just cash.
If you love making money and wanna win,
just cash. Just cash.
Just cash.
If you love making money and wanna win,
just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends,
just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash. If you love making money and wanna win,
just cash.
We just chillin' and we vibing with our friends,
just cash.
And if anything in doubt, we pass. Rookies all hate us cause we played it just cash.
Just cash.
Oh, there you are. What's up, bro? Cold over there or something? You got that beanie on, eh?
Yeah, it's cold outside today here in the Carolinas. But we are back. What's going on, film? Welcome to Just Cash. Took a little break there, dealing with some health issues, but we are back. What's good, Underrated? How are you? How was your weekend?
Pretty good, man. I've been staying up way too late for my own good in the last week doing music stuff, but it's pretty fun. I can't be mad. Feels good, man. Feels good. But I digress. Back to CBB. Let's get it, man. Small slate. We do good on these small slates. Let's win some money tonight.
Yeah, man. Just got really 2 games on the docket for us today, or at least worth of player props. Maybe a couple money lines we'll talk about, some mid-level teams, but really getting ready to ramp up for tomorrow. You already know Tuesday is always going to be one of our bigger days, so got a little bit to talk about today, a lot of stuff to go through. Looks like they were just dropping props like in the last 35, 40 minutes or so, leading up to our stream here, so we'll go through today, see what we got going on, take a peek at Unrivaled as well. Unfortunately, no injury news really for us to kind of work with today, but at least one prop I think is worth an honorable mention. So before we hop into it, if you guys appreciate it, make sure to hit that like button down below. Help us support the channel as always. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Turn those noties on. And last but not least, join the Discord. Still running a 7-day free trial for that. We got WNBA hopefully just around the corner. I know we got baseball spring season started up, so that is not far away. And NPB is going to be right around the corner. So super excited, man. Super excited. This should be a pretty eventful week. I know Tuesday and Saturday, nice major loaded slate. Wednesday is going to be a pretty good one too. So if you guys were here on Friday, caught the videos, we went 2 out of 3. Had, oh my goodness, Crevasse, unbelievably free under. I mean, like, that was the easiest play ever. Just absolutely got shut down. And in his foul trouble and all that good stuff, so I love to see it. Koa Pete should be back here soon with Arizona, so maybe another chance to take that under one more time, but we'll see. And then for Unrivaled, Angel Reese, just absolutely free. Over 9.5 points was crazy, especially in that particular matchup. And we got done dirty at the end of the game with Shakira Austin. You know, it was just unfortunate she got fouled at the end for an N1 and ended up going over by just that 1 point. So other than that, though, pretty solid weekend, and still ended out in the positive. Can't be mad about that. But if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and hop into it. We got a couple plays for y'all, a couple bumps already. So hopefully you guys, again, in the Discord caught that early value. I know Kingston Fleming's being one of them, and Trey White. Underdog actually just removed his 6.5 rebounds altogether, so we don't even have that as an option And it looks like Kingston Flemings is 18.5 points across the board. But let's talk about this game real fast. I think this one going to be a little bit more appealing just for unders in general. We got a really low total. I think it was 136, 137.5. So snail pace on both sides. We got Houston, elite defense, slow pace. Kansas, pretty slow in general. Slightly more of a pace for them. Do get the home court advantage at least, but it is a pick'em game. And I was seeing online this is going to be one of those, unstoppable force, immovable object things where you got one team that's been undefeated on Monday nights and another team that has not lost consecutive games. So we'll see which one's going to break tonight. But Kansas looked pretty good, but they did get they got an ass whooping from Cincinnati, man. I mean, that game was ugly, and they were able to hold Peterson in check and the rest of the team. So this is a tough one. True coin flip here, but typically we get the nod for the home court, but they're going to have a bounce back here. This is not an easy walk in the park. So let's talk about our two unders here. We got the rookie Big Flemings on the road here. We know historically pretty difficult for him in some of these games, and a majority of these games for Houston on the road have been very competitive. We know they play down to their competition, so I do expect this to also be a close game. And for him, wild difference in scoring potential. And for somebody who's averaging, just around 18 points so far this season, it's been a little sketchy for him on the road, especially with his three-point shooting. That was a really big point of contention we had this last game or the game before. Obviously, he burned us that game. He snapped off from three and hit 4 threes, tying a season high. But in general, we saw him right back down to earth this last game, only hit 1 3 in the tougher matchup too. So pretty close, circumstances here for us. I think truly we're just sweating him from three. I mean, any games that he's really struggled from 3-point line, we've seen him barely getting 19, 20 points. And some of this was also off of free throw shooting as well. So Kansas, pretty solid. Don't really foul a whole lot. They don't really offer much in that direction. And they're pretty good against 3-point shooting too. So, for him, he's going to have to get crafty, get into that lane, try and get to the mid-range, free throws, and what have you there. But not an easy matchup. I still don't mind the 18.5 points. You could probably argue to wait around a little bit to get that line back to 19.5. But again, early value in the Discord, so make sure you guys in there and checking it out for us. But all in all, honestly, this is just another one of those you got to show me games. He really hasn't performed great in a lot of consecutive games so far this season. I mean, you can see sporadic numbers here, a couple easy matchups here, like ASU, no surprise. Texas Tech, I will say it did go to overtime, so a little bit extra on top, but he went for a season high there. And then TCU, not really the best wing defense at all, so no surprise. And I believe he popped off from 3, or he had 2 threes in that game and a handful of free throws. So just a high line for him. I mean, we're still talking about a player who's only averaging 16.6 points this season, so I'm not really sure why they had it bumped up so high to begin with, but 19.5 points was the play.
Can't beat it. And D. Johnson says, I'm ready for March Madness at this point, and I feel in March Madness. It feels like March Madness, these type of games. This game is going to be awesome. Trey White, man, he has fallen off a cliff, and I took his under on Saturday. It still hit. And we're going right back to it. The rebounds especially, though, looking way too high.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a handful of things kind of moving negatively for him so far down the stretch of the season. Whenever Peterson was hurt, he was pretty well locked in for really high sustainable minutes, averaging basically 36 and some change on any given night. But we've seen him in this last month now in a lot of competitive games. I will say they only had this one blowout against ISU, but everything else has stayed pretty well close for the most part. And he's just not the same rebounder. I will say the 5.5 line, a little bit more scary for that one, but in general, we've seen both of the guards really step up a lot more. Peterson, for one, to point out, he's been a really active rebounder whenever he's out there playing his minutes. And so far, with him coming back into the squad, and I mean, at least playing 30 minutes or so on any given night, it's really cut down in this production. And some of these games were pretty favorable for that too. You got pace up and higher totals, but this is going to be a snail's pace. There should be a really finite amount of just in general shots going up, but also with the pace, these teams both really good at limiting rebounds to opponents just in general. But for him, if he was a guard, maybe I would be sweating it a little bit more. But for him being a small forward, they are likely going to have him covering a wing player. So, I mean, if he gets a few long ball rebounds, that could be unfortunate. But in general, that's just not his role right now. And for him, we haven't really seen much offense either. That's been real sporadic from game to game. So coach really isn't happy with him. I mean, his minutes also just all over the place here recently. Any games that he's not playing over 30 minutes, I mean, it's been really a huge stretch for him to get this kind of a rebound line. But again, Underdog did remove it, I believe, earlier. Let's see if they added it back. Pretty sure they took it forever. Yeah, so he just goes from 5.5 to the 7.5. So the unfortunate sweet spot is missing there. But again, if you guys got that in the Discord, we did lock that in for a 2-picker. So shop around. If you can't find it at 6, if you can find it at 6.5, that's still going to be the better play for him. But yeah, man, it is a tough spot for him. Tough spot. I'm honestly not even that mad at his RA. I think you can only get this on Prize Picks. For whatever reason, books have been a little bit weird this last week. They took away a lot of unders that we were kind of, at least had on the radar for plays. I know the RA, the offensive rebound, defensive rebounds, all that stuff's gone right now. So a little unfortunate to see, but rebound line was high for him. And yeah, I mean, hey, just know one of those you're going to have to show me. If you're not playing over 30 minutes, it's been pretty tough for him. So I liked it. I know you were a big fan of it too. So we got that on the list. 6.5 under. A lot of unders today. A lot of unders.
Well, when you have Houston playing and at Kansas, probably should look to unders. Taking any overs and going against that is something scary to do. I don't want to cheer for that. But unders, yeah, man. I want to check out your Sanak. Is that how you say it? Sanak?
Yeah, I think it's Snack. Big Chris.
Snack.
Big Chris.
Big double C. Under 9.5 now. To me, 9.5 is so low. It's like, I always think in my mind, it's like, that's 5 buckets for a whole game. But at Kansas, show us what you're thinking.
Yeah, so, I mean, he is still one of our freshmen, so you got to take that for what it is. A player who has struggled some massive home road splits, and something we'll kind of get into here in just a minute. But we know on the other side, one of Kansas's best players, or at least second best player, has got to be Big Flory. I mean, he's performed exceptionally well. And I will say also, small shout out, his fantasy, unbelievably low. It's at 31.5, but I think for good reason here. Going up against Houston, going to be a real tough matchup. I mean, they've just been elite inside the paint. But one thing for him is his shot volume has been really, really low, just by and large all season. A lot of these games where you see these double-digit field goal attempts, a lot of those are coming off of just offensive rebounds and putbacks. So last game, for example, he had 11 attempts, but he also had 4 offensive rebounds. And he does offer a little bit more of a mixed bag. He does take 3-point shots, so that is something that could bode for him, in a positive light. But again, Flory not having any of that, and he's just been one of their best defenders by far, and limiting a lot of production on the other side. So streaky 3-point shooter, mixed bag. He doesn't really get to the free throw line a whole lot, which is, I think, something that would be kind of scary in offering upside for him. But low usage rating. I mean, majority of the season, he's on a good day looking at 16, 17%, just general usage. But for him, really, really bad road splits. And that's something that's just kind of been his kryptonite all season. Again, Houston playing down to their competition. All these were competitive games, and he's only gotten there twice. The one against Baylor, a little, not too surprising there. He barely got over with that. They ended up beating them by 22 points. So things were just more in their favor in general. But the one against BYU, Big Kiba, not the best defender. He gets really, really handsy, fouls often too. So not really that surprised. But these good teams, and even some of these more middle teams, but mostly just the paint presence teams, your ISU, your TCU, TTU, all these guys, even Cincinnati for that matter, this is a real close, I think, comparable game, just a low score, low pace style that we should see tonight. But for him, another thing, just the minutes all over the place in these road games. He's not playing any kind of secure minutes. Even the game where he played 34 minutes, I mean, he still was only able to muster up 8 points. So it's not something that I think is that dangerous. But for him in general, you look at him on the season, he's only averaging, I think, eight field goal attempts. Yeah. 7.9 attempts on the season as a whole. And I mean, for him, he's lucky to be 50% from the field. I mean, majority of his games already this season, 49%. So you can just see this consistency is just not really here for him. And this is a big time game. This is one that also I would not be surprised to see Houston maybe go a little bit smaller. They've really kind of staggered between him and Tugler as far as like who's actively playing at the 5. But any given night, if these players aren't playing well, coach has been completely fine with sitting them earlier or sooner than later, I should say. And for him, a couple flash in the pans, but I mean, I just don't see a lot of consistency here. So not an easy matchup. I think Flory is going to give him a lot of fits on the other side. And if he's not one that can get to the free throw line, I mean, unless he beats us from 3, I just don't see it here.
I like it. It's very interesting. Can you show us what Kansas has done? 2 bigs down there. If you scroll down a little more.
They don't have much. They don't have much as far as like a sample size right now really pulled up. I mean, we've seen a little bit more production recently. Obviously, Crevasse had that insane game against him, and I'm not even going to pronounce home dude's name from Cincinnati, but the Cincinnati one, I really want to write that one off. I mean, Kansas just looked absolutely horrible that entire game. Like, truly, I cannot believe that they got beat by that much. But, I mean, if you look at these guys' lines, he was only at 10.5 points, and he went for 28. So that was an exceptionally great game for him. And then same thing for Crevasse. I mean, he's at 9.5 points. We know he's a really low volume shooter. And that one, he ended up just getting an unreal amount of free throws and offensive putbacks. So bit of a different situation too. These guys are also playing really high minutes at the time too. For him, maybe he plays 30 minutes, but a lot of these nights we've seen just 23 to 26 minutes. And, consistency just being a big thing here. I foresee a bounce back game for Kansas. I think being at home is a huge thing for him, and going up against Flory on the other side, I can't stress that enough. He's just going to have a lot to deal with. Wouldn't be surprised to see him exert a little bit more on the defensive side of things, just trying to slow him down. And, just in general, the pace and total of this game is just going to be absolutely terrible.
Cool. I'm with it, man. I see 3 wins there with the 3 plays. And then Sturts is the last one, under 3.5 rebounds. That one's interesting too. Where'd you find that?
Yeah, this one really stood out. So, I mean, we've been targeting the opposing guards, specifically the point guards against OSU. They have been elite against that. And honestly, I have no idea how this is even aligned for him. I mean, this is a player who doesn't even average 2.5 rebounds so far this season. And, I mean, he stayed under this in 20 out of 27 games. So, yes, I know the minutes are scary. That's always going to be, our biggest red flag with Sturts, but he's just not the rebounder on this team. I mean, he's exerting all of his effort on offense. He is literally this team's backbone as far as usage, offensive rating, and everything. So, 90% of that is just going there. And I mean, we've even seen his defense kind of taper off towards the end of the season here. So, I mean, it is not a great spot for him. He's at home. That's maybe the only positive I'll give him for that. But OSU is no joke against rebounding. And for somebody, if they're going to put their line this high, got to take advantage.
This is the same team that you went under Arenas, right? Ohio State? Same.
Yeah.
That's interesting that they have the line. Like, why do they have it at 3.5? Why? For what? What's the point here?
Not sure, because I noticed the last game they played, or the last two games they played, most of these rebound lines were well under their season average lines. Like Blackwell 4.5. I mean, Nick Boyd 2.5. Even Malik Thomas, I know he popped off, but these were appropriate lines that they had set prior to that, like only 3.5 and 2.5 rebounds. This was adjusted, heavy juice on the over for obvious reasons, but that was a discount for their season-long metrics. But the other ones, I mean, you're like I said, Blackwell, Boyd, and even Jeremy Fears, him being at 2.5 rebounds made a lot of sense because these guys just aren't that high rebounders. But you look at specific point guards, though. I mean, Nick Boyd still only held to 3. Jeremy Fears only had 1. You know, we talked about Arenas. He was only at 4. Your David Coates, he had 0 rebounds against them. So it's just something, I mean, tried and true all season long. Like I said, they're just limiting the point guard production and just guards in general. So not really sure why it's at 3.5, but that is way too high.
And what site is that on? Everything?
No, this one's only on Underdog right now. I think they're the only ones who have props out so far for tomorrow. Okay.
Well, that's very telling. It's on Fliff too, it looks like, but not the under. Obviously, we can't do the unders on Fliff anymore because Fliff sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty weak, man. It's pretty weak, but what can you do?
You know what I do see on Fliff, though? I think this is new. Tell me if I'm wrong. They have alts now? Yeah, they have alts now for CBB. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, they swung it back the other direction at least. You know, if you're going to take away one thing, thankfully give us something else in return.
Man, they should give us numbers for all the unders too, those pussies. Okay, so Sturt's under 3.5 rebounds. That is a very interesting find. I'm still confused, but the one thing I do like about it is only Underdog has it, and that's sometimes telling that maybe they just have a mistake.
Yeah, man. And, you know, we were talking about with Underdog, too, in case you guys missed it over the weekend, or maybe it was Friday, but they redid their payout structure. So even more lucrative for taking some of these alt lines, or at least, you know, a payout like this, minus 186.
Yeah.
Their 3 picks moved up to a 3.5x payout, and the 3 picks moved up to a 6.5 payout. So Prize Picks, you done. Until y'all do something different, there's absolutely no way I'm playing anything on Prize Picks unless it's a free square, and then that's still debatable.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. The payouts are a lot better. Kind of confused. I guess they just want to, you know, take some people over there that care about the payouts. A lot of people don't even pay attention, but I mean that's huge. So if we take Sturt's under rebounds, we know the payout isn't going to be perfect because it's 3.5's a line he hasn't got there much. But if you put the 0.84 in your queue, and then what's another play that we're liking and that's still on good old Underdog?
Here's Snack. That's a good example.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. So I mean, the two of these, you know, with an alt line or with a minus 186 or whatever it was, I mean, it's still a 2.94. So.
That's amazing. That really is amazing. Drop your boost on top. I see you have a boost right behind your head there. 40%. Isn't that for college too? Does that work?
No, it's for soccer, unfortunately. They didn't give any college stuff today. We did get an NBA one. NBA can blow chunks, but I feel it. Some people like it, so it's cool, whatever. But yeah, great payout. But I mean, if you did have a boost, I mean, at least can show us, for example, here with a 40% boost. I mean, that moves up to a 3.75. So I would expect, you know, today probably not going to get a boost or anything like that, but tomorrow we should get something to work with it being a bigger slate. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, it's funny. We went all last year doing college, and I didn't even notice that Saturdays and Tuesdays are the days. I didn't realize Tuesdays were the days till this year. Tuesday and Wednesday has been good too, actually.
Yeah, with college or with football now being over with, they moved Saturday to being the next big slate, and then we started getting real Wednesday stuff. So, you know, Wednesdays can kind of vary between a mid-size and an actual like big slate because we've had a couple of those in the mix. But A lot of the teams did play on Saturday. We only had, I think, 2 teams playing on Sunday. So real good chance we'll again, continue just to see these bigger size slates. So I'm not mad at it. It gives us stuff to work with during the week.
Cool. Yeah. No, I like that 2 pick on underdog. Those obviously are playable right now. The other 2 on the list have bumped. We put them in the Discord last night. So if you're on those, you're feeling pretty good. And we got a few questions in chat, or not questions, just a couple plays that D Johnson's on. What's up, bro? Ayo's here too. And we don't see Q Donkey here, our 3rd member today. Maybe he's busy. But I'm sure he'll have a few things in the Discord tonight. But if you want to look at D Johnson's 2 plays he dropped here for us to look at, we can.
Yeah, what we got? Council, and what was the other one?
Hadley. Oh, Javon Hadley.
Oh, Hadley. All right. What was one for Hadley?
11.5 points. And Council's for assists. And Council at 4 assists. That's interesting. What's he, 4.5 everywhere else?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
the four was on Prize Picks, so I mean that one I actually did not mind at all. I think that's a very favorable line for given the matchup, but I mean consistency that we've seen a lot so far this season. So
Oof.
assuming it being 4 push, I will say there is a good chance he could totally get 4 here, and it would not surprise me, but it is a full point discount right now. I mean, he's averaging 5 so far this season, and if we move it down to 3.5, just so you can kind of see, a push is technically not a loss, so we'll count it at least as a win. But 21 out of 27 games this season. I mean, really consistent. He's looked a lot better with it now with Peterson being back into the full swing of things. And I know we had somebody ask lastly or the last stream about Peterson, his 1.5 assists. Dude's only had like 2 assists in the last, 4 or 5 games. I mean, it's not something. He is not a playmaker whatsoever for this team. So Trey White, a little sprinkle of him, a little bit of Badunga, but by and large, I mean, it's really just been Melvin Council. I mean, he's their true point guard so far for this team. I'm not too mad at the 4 assists. I will say that was something that kind of stood out early for me. And even his PA is still pretty low. I know it's a scarier matchup, but this is somebody who's been at 16.5, 17.5 for a large majority of this stretch here. Now, for obvious reasons, they did take it down for this matchup, but yeah, the assist definitely stood out for me,
Hey, if you guys want to risk playing against Houston, hey, have a good time with that, guys. I'll be cheering for you from the sidelines.
The only thing that sucks is I will say there's been only 2 guards over the last 2 months now who have had 5 or more, and Christian Anderson kind of an exception. Like, we know he plays all 40 minutes of the game, and he's a tried and true point guard. But I mean, the only other close one was Lipsy going for 4 out of his 4.5, not too surprising. And then you just look at a lot of these other guys. I mean, hell, even Folks, only going for 3 assists. That's kind of crazy. Rock Harding, he did get 5, so a little extra there. But it's been tough, man. It's been real tough. 4 has been their limit.
Houston is not playing around, bro. They lost the last 2 games. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. They haven't lost 3 consecutive games since 2017 or something crazy.
So are you betting Houston tonight?
Nah,
Me neither.
I don't know if I can do that, man.
Yeah, Kansas looks good, especially at home. It's pretty scary. Can't bet.
Right.
I can't take either side. Hadley time.
Let's talk about Hadley now. I mean, this isn't a particular matchup I would love to pick on. North Carolina has been really, really solid inside the paint, but they do give up a little bit more production to the small forward, power forward. We are still waiting on news for Big Henry on the other side to see if okay, so it looks like he is good to go. Did we just get that? All right, that just came through. So Henry is good to go. Ooh, it looks like it was an ankle injury that he's been dealing with. Now we actually know what that was. Hadley, I don't mind. He should see a bit of a softer matchup with Stevenson on the other side of things. I mean, not the greatest defender, kind of getting thrown into a spot start role as he has. I don't mind it for Hadley, but not exactly the best matchup. It's a low line for him, I will say. As long as he stays out of foul trouble, the coach has been playing some really solid minutes. 30 or more is really kind of what we're looking for. But he's looked really good these last couple games. Don't know if I trust him necessarily, but it is quite a low line. They are putting him at a discount here.
Hadley's such a non-shooter. He's scary.
Yeah, that's the only thing with him. But I will say a nice mixed bag shooter, something to kind of change it up. He does shoot threes. He gets to the free throw line. And if he's shooting 8 to 10 times, I mean, we're looking real good here. But if he stays in that single digit, that becomes a little bit more of a sweat. So do need him to get to the free throw line here. You're going to need at least 2 made free throws.
Now they're doing this 11.5. You can see also he's gone over that pretty easily 4 out of the last 5, so they're going to catch people liking that over. Now is it the North Carolina factor? Because you can see those last 5. They're probably not as good in the paint against North Carolina, and we are at North Carolina today. So that you can kind of tell why they put the line a little low, right? Compared to his last 5.
Yeah. I mean, if we were just looking at the last 5, the hit rating on that's pretty astronomical and averaging 15 points per game. But the season-long metrics a little bit, if he was at 10.5 points, I think this would be a pretty great play, if I'm being honest. It's a wild difference on the hit rating, too. 11.5 points is right there. I would not be surprised if he scores 12, 13 points, but he could also score 9, 10 points, and that would be right up his alley. So just keep that in mind. The rebounds also just a touch high. I would love 4.5 rebounds, but I don't think that they could do that with, again, that 1 point difference on both of those lines is pretty massive. So he's not a bad play. He's just, slower pace. It is a 163 total, so it's not the worst total ever. Just not the greatest spot. But they are without Caleb Wilson, so could be a little bit more of a difference here.
Yep, 2 games today. 2 good games. 2 interesting games. Now, we don't have any other comments. If anyone's here, we have 13 watching, 12 likes. Appreciate you guys hitting the likes for us. If you have any plays you're liking or you want us to look at, drop them in the chat, guys, before we get out of here. And in the meantime, Henry under 18.5. Is that too scary for you? Is that too much to handle?
I mean, honestly, the only scary part is we just haven't seen a tried and true full game of him playing without Caleb Wilson. This last game, coach had him on a hard minutes limit. He played 6-minute rotations in the first half, sat out for a minute, and ended with 13 and some change minutes in the first half. Only played 25 minutes, and it was a competitive game, so coach had every reason to kind of leave him out there. The only thing is if he plays over 30 minutes tonight, what that may look like, because this previous game, against Syracuse, still another slower total, what have you. It was on the road also at Syracuse, but he was on pace for at least 15, 16 field goal attempts, at least.
So they're just feeding him with no Caleb. They're just going to him, huh? That's the scary part. They're going to use him like he's a star. Henry. Big Henry. Just go to Big Henry to get the win. That's what they're going to do?
That's what they were really leaning on this last game. I mean, he did get a little bit of help from Luka, but Seth Trimble also won, just a really streaky shooter in general, but just a streaky scorer. They went to him a lot. I mean, he had 33% usage, and then the next closest was Big High off the bench, who I do think if he starts, I would love that under even more so. Like if they ended up moving Stevenson to the bench and started High. But that was also he also saw a few extra minutes with Henry only playing 25 minutes. So I'm not sure how to read into that. I do agree it's a very high line for him. The hit rating and just in general marker for him is quite high, but a little scary just because, like I said, if he plays 30 minutes, I mean, bro's going to take at least 15 field goal attempts here.
Yeah, it is definitely a little scary. It's just a fun one because it's so high for him. And if he takes over and he balls out, then he does what it is what it is. Might be a little personal play I'll do for fun, just a small amount, just to. I lean under, but yeah, I could see him breaking hearts. I don't want to do that.
Now the rebound rating is also kind of interesting for him. I know he is at a discount. They have him down to 8.5 rebounds, which I mean he was I think 10.5 rebounds this last game. He was a lot more shy on the glass. He was not trying to get any offensive rebounds whatsoever. So maybe a little bit gingerly from dealing with this ankle injury, but that is good to know. I mean, an ankle injury is no joke, especially for a big. So we could see some kind of trade-off there between him not getting on the glass so much and just exerting all of his effort on the offensive side. So not too mad at maybe even a shot at the PR under. Let's see what that was looking like. I think it was at 27.5. Yeah, 27.5. That one was a little bit more interesting. We do know that Louisville shoots a pretty high clip from three. So, I mean, he could lose out on the long rebound opportunity there again. But that rebound line still seems appropriate for him. So, I'm not too mad at the PR, honestly.
What's the best? 27.5 is the best we got?
Yeah. It's on PrizePicks and FanDuel. I think Underdog moved him to 26.5, or they just took it down altogether. Oh, that's another one they don't offer an under on.
Yeah. Pussies.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there, but it's a high line. I mean,
yeah.
If he's not playing over 30 minutes, that is going to be quite a difficult task for him.
C-Dot, what's up, bro? C-Dot says, if anyone's interested, he says, payouts 2.0 on Underdog. If anyone's interested, if you alt Sanak up to 11.5 and go under, Flemings up to 20.5 and go under, and Trey White up to 7.5 rebounds and go under. So there's a way to be a little safer. They do scare me a little bit, only because Sanak, you're really only getting one bucket alted up, and Fleming's the same. Fleming's really only 1 point now that it's bumped. White probably won't get 8 rebounds, but you never know. I mean, I don't hate it, but at the same time, getting full money sometimes feels better if you can. But hey, if you want to roll a C, big C-Dot, he got the alts there for you.
Yeah, man. Funny enough, that was actually a slip I was messing around with earlier too. Exactly that slip, because I saw it was right at a 2x. I think it's like a 2.01 or 02 or something like that.
Not bad, not bad.
This would be a day, you could definitely get a little creative. Sucks we don't have any boosts or anything to kind of add on top of it, but shop around. You get some alt lines, get creative. Not mad at it. All right, let's talk about at least two players that I think warrant some consideration for an under, just because these lines are so much higher. Mikael Brown, 22.5 points is pretty crazy. I know he's been on a bit of a heater in these last couple games here. A few favorable matchups like NC State, very nice one. Baylor, pretty nice. SMU, you can see that game total was a hell of a pace. 22.5 is pretty high, I gotta say. They are coming off of a short turnaround. This is still their third game in the last week now, so could see a little bit of fatigue settle in. But some sites already bumped him back down to 21.5, which honestly I think should be his line, or even 20.5. But this is a pretty big jump from last game, especially after missing one. It's just really high. And it's also crazy to think about his PR was also 27.5 too. I'm like, damn, that is high. That is really high. But I do know why they're doing this, because this is a nice by design trap play. So you see his 4.5 rebounds, you see the hit rating so far this season. He's only averaging 3 and some change. You'd be like, oh, that's a smash under. No problem, taking the under all day. But if you look down here, recent progress or recent what has been allowed to guards, That is a lot of overs. That is a shitload of guards getting rebounds against NC right now. And it makes sense. Again, with their paint presence being so elite, you got to have some leeway here. And that has been rebounding to guards. They have allowed so much of it over the last 2 months now. And I mean, you can see some of these really, really low lines. I mean, your 3.5's almost doubled, 3.5
Wow.
double, 3.5 double. So they are bleeding rebounds too. I would not be surprised if he has an ample amount of rebounds tonight, which also, side note, they have his assisted 3.5, which is really, really low. But his RA was 7.5 earlier. Oh, damn it, they did bump it up. Still, even the 8.5 RA, kind of appealing. Would not be surprised if he has 4 and 4 or 4 and 5 today, but yeah, just at least so we said it here. Would not be surprised to see him get on the glass today.
Yeah, that's a little tricky one there.
All right, and then the other one, his wingman, Big Ryan Conwell. He was at 19.5 points right before we hopped on. Looks like they did, unfortunately, take that down altogether. But even still, 18.5 points, pretty high for him. He's taken quite a backseat to Mikael Brown here. And just in general, field goal volumes kind of leveled out. He was really going off during that stretch without Brown. But now with the team fully healthy, it's been tough, man. He's been back and forth on the road, too. Plays a little bit better in general, but still even more recent drop-off with Brown being back. Just kind of a high line. This one felt a little bit more appropriate, but he's been on the decline, man. I don't know what's going on with him. His threes aren't falling quite the same like they were. That's been a real big downtick for him. So could see a bounce-back game here. Wouldn't be surprised, but at least to kind of throw it on the radar, 18.5 points is a little bit up there for him.
That's interesting. I like how we have a million unders and no overs. There's not even an overlook.
Nah, the only over I would take today would be Flory's fantasy at 31, which let's see if they bump that up. Yeah, he's still 31 and some change. This would be the only over I would play today just because this dude has been a menace, and the hit rating on this is way too hard to ignore. Not only the hit rating, but, I mean, this is a massive discount, and dude's averaging almost 37 fantasy a game, so quite a discount, but for good reason.
So why aren't you putting that on your lean list there, E?
We're not trying to gamble here.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's hit this in the last 13 straight games at home. He's averaging almost 40 fantasy at home. It's insane.
So how is that gambling then?
All right, you talk me into it. We'll at least have one for the mid-tier today.
There you go. Or do a half unit even, maybe. No? Fuck all that. It's Flory. Yeah. I like it in leans.
Well, no, it's Houston. If it was any other matchup, I would love this, but it's Houston. So we do have to take that for what it is.
It is Houston, but it's also Bunk Flory. I know you like him.
Flory.
I know you like him, but I have a mission to defeat Flory in my life before the season's over. He's gone over and busted me a few times in the last second. He doesn't deserve to have this power over me. I don't appreciate it whatsoever.
No, I feel that. But, I mean, hey, he's playing these sustainable minutes. I mean, coach has got him ramped up, playing at least 30 minutes or more a night. And
yeah, he's definitely overachieved. I must give him credit also.
Well, we'll at least ride with that as a mid-tier option today, something to think about. I don't think they'll likely bump him up. I mean, they've been pretty well chilling with his lines all day on both sides, so not really much of a difference here, but yeah, man. Home hit rating, pretty crazy.
Okay.
Has not missed.
All right. Well, we're going to try it out. I'm playing it. Good old Prize Picks.
Yeah. Well, you can get him on underdog, but slightly worse line.
But it's not when you do a 2-pick. Oh, the line. Gotcha.
Yeah. Slightly different. So take that for what you will, but again, difficult matchup. Great line, though. Great line.
Okay, so small slate today. We don't have much more to do. Not as many questions here today because it's small slate, but I'm sure tomorrow will be huge. And tonight, maybe make a video. So if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you do that to catch the video tonight. And what you got for us to end? Malanga, huh? Malanga Lee?
Yeah. At least one to put on the radar for everyone. Malanga, her PRA in particular. I think the 16.5 points, totally fair. I believe she went for 16 exactly against them last time. Yeah, she had 16 points, but she also had 16 rebounds and 1 assist. So missed pretty well middle of the pack as far as like 2 points made per game, but they are allowing top 2 rebounds per game, maybe even second most rebounds per game. And we can see, obviously, with her putting up 16 rebounds last time they played, that bodes really well for us. I don't necessarily want to play her straight up rebounds because it's hard to ignore still her scoring upside that she has. But real good chance that I think we see I feel like we're going to see Veronica Burton cut down on one of the usage on between, Paige or Rakia Jackson here. Real good chance she probably sticks on Paige. So if Paige is going to be struggling, we know the other 2 players are going to have to step it up here. And i.e., that's at least going to be Malanga to some extent. But as long as she goes out and gives us double-digit rebounds here, has a moderate outing somewhere between 15 to 17 points, I think this PRA line's a really solid look.
Coolio. And D. Johnson says, thanks, guys. And D. Johnson, no worries, bro. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Love breaking it down Monday through Friday with you guys. Thursday, we will not be streaming. It is my birthday, so just to go ahead and give you guys a heads up on that. But Thursdays have been pretty much our deadest day of the week. I mean, last week we literally had no real teams to bet on, so they just kind of put up a few mid-level guys. But that'll work out for the best. So we'll be here back Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at least, getting ready for the weekend. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit that like button down below on the way out. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here, and come check out the Discord. Still running that 7-day free trial, so get in, win some cash with us. All right, Underrated, you got anything else for us, man?
No, sir. I'm just going to hit play on our favorite song on the way out, and we'll call it a stream, sir.
All right, y'all. Well, good luck tonight on your bets, parlays, straights, all that good stuff. We'll catch y'all back here tomorrow. Peace.
But I'm had enough.
Yeah, man.